I don't share my story for any sympathy. I don't even want people's sympathy. It's not what I do. For a long time, I've shared my journey, my healing process, and just my thoughts on things, really, just to try and inspire other people, show them the realities of life, how I overcome, how I transcend, how I make decisions. Because I recognize not many people have positive role models. I stand by my books. I actually think they're incredible. Like, and that's I don't, I'm not someone that postures above myself. I know they will heal so many people when people finally get round to acquiring them and reading them. But I don't keep putting them in people's faces. I don't keep opening the book. Go, read this passage. Read this passage. I just know when the time is right. So I create. I create even when I don't see tangible success because it's a passion. It's a calling, and like I say, I take it incredibly serious. I hold that responsibility quite sacred, really. So that's why I've always said as well that I'm not interested in glossing over things. I've got no interest in sharing part of a story. It's share all of it, the highs and the lows, because there's going to inevitably, when you get to the top of your mountain, if you don't share the entire journey, people don't know what it took to get there. So when I share my low moments, this is not for sympathy in any way. It's literally just me journaling and documenting. I don't expect an immediate reaction. I'm not doing it for that. I recognize that videos can be seen years later. I'm getting random likes on videos that I wouldn't even on my profile, I wouldn't even be able to find them. I'd have to keep searching in it. It would keep having to refresh to find these videos, and yet random ones still get attention. So that tells me everything I do now will get seen when the time is right. So these are important moments to show the process, Like I say, I'm not looking for sympathy, but life is hard. It's stressful. It's actually really annoying. I'm someone, I think I've got undiagnosed things. That's what I think I have. I think I've got a level of autism, not like low, like anything substantial. I just think I've got something in me that makes me quite unique. Someone made a point to me a long time ago, or a few years ago, because they've got someone that's autistic, a son that's autistic, and they just asked me these questions, and I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. They go, I thought so because I can see the signs. I was like, oh, okay. I didn't see it as like a bad thing. Whoever I am. But effectively, it means things bother me. I think just more than the average person. Like I wear my headphones because I can't handle noises. They irritate me. I live alone. If I'm with someone, it's different because we're making noise together. It's lived in. It's a different situation. When you're on your own, you pick up the subtleties more. And for instance, some noise outside and things, it just irritates the living shit out of me. I'm not someone that can cope with that without getting irritated, and I'll get work. My blood pressure will just start going because I find people are quite selfish. They don't really care. They don't think about the impact it has on others. So I silence the world. It makes my life easier. So I've also got other things around the home. I haven't ever spoke about it. I don't. It's for me. It's personal. It's just more of a nuisance to me. But others may not find the issue. I live in social housing. It's in the UK, for instance, it's very unfair and unbalanced the way the world is. You can make a bad decision in your early adult years or late teens. So you can get credit that gets out that maybe you're not very good with money, or you never taught to be good with money. The trouble is anything you do that's detrimental lasts for 6 years on your credit rating. So people that live a perfect life, that it's easy to judge those that didn't, and it's just a problem. Not everybody's financially astute, if you like. So life isn't always easy for everybody else. Some people are not in relationships. It's really hard for a single person to get a mortgage. Now, you maybe you're doing incredibly well. Again, life choices. There's no point playing comparisons to say, oh yeah, well you should have gone to college, should have gone to university, should have done, look, shoulda, woulda, coulda. And I don't want to live in someone's shadow, and I don't want to live your life. Thank you very much. But it just means, yeah, some of our options are limited. So I live in social housing. I haven't got a problem with that. But the home I've got a problem at times. But I'm very privileged. My rent is incredibly cheap. It's ridiculously cheap. Really, we don't really talk about things like that, but I might as well just explain it because it's really, just as people do understand. My rent is about £450 a month, 2-bedroom house. So you could say mortgage this, mortgage that, private renting, you're looking about £900. I don't know, around about that, 800, 900, I don't know. So it's actually quite affordable, isn't it? It's cheap for that. So yeah, there'll be people that are jealous and say, well, that's unfair. It's like, yeah, but you don't know the journey someone's been through to get there. I'm not going to go through it here. I've documented it in my book. yeah, it's not for me to compare. It's just, it is what it is. But the home actually irritates the shit out of me. So I can't wait for my success to come. Now, that's not saying I don't appreciate where I am, but yeah, I think, to be honest, I've put work in for like 5 or 6 years now. I've worked my ass off with no reward. All of my books, maybe they pay towards the odd bill here. They contribute a little bit, nothing substantial. And yet I know how good they are. One day I think one day people will recognize them, and it will change my life. And it's quite frustrating that in those periods that I knew they should have been successful. Do you know what I mean? So I've no doubt one day I'll be able to afford a house of my own. Maybe a really nice one too. That'd be nice. In the meantime, yeah, I've got a home that it's not exactly how I want it, and it's like you're so limited. For instance, my kitchen. This is what it's like. My kitchen is not the surface isn't flat, and someone with my level, I just said with the autism sort of thing, I don't know what it is because I've not been diagnosed. I don't really care about labels. I just know things piss me off more than the average person. So it's not straight, and I'll literally walk from one end of the kitchen pissing myself off. It's like a worst case nightmare for me because I haven't got someone to distract me, So I'll stand in that kitchen for a while, go back and forward, pissing myself off, going, that's not right, that's not right. So literally you go from one end of the kitchen and it'll slope, but also there'll be divots. And that's what the kitchen's like. And I've complained about it. They brought the wrong person out. They brought someone that was interested in laying flooring. I said, that's no help. I said, I need this flattened. I said, this is driving me nuts. And he said, I'm not sure that can be done without smashing the whole floor in. I was like, oh, right, so it might be something I've got to put up with. But then I've noticed the living room's got the same issue. And where the floorboards are, it's sort of making them separate a bit. And I'm like, well, this ain't good. And then I noticed the front door area is sloped quite heavily, and you can't open the door fully. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is getting worse. That's just part of it. It's not that home's terrible. It's just that these things piss me off to beyond belief. Maybe it's safe, maybe it's not. Yeah. But anyway, but that's just the home. That's what annoys me. Then we've got my car that's got about £1,000 worth of repairs to do, and that's annoying the shit out of me because it's my favourite car. It's not overly expensive, but it's my pride and joy. I just need the car running perfectly fine, and I just need it fixed. So it's another cost. Today, after everything that's going on, I had to go to the local job centre because I've got my back problem. See, this chair actually supports my back. It's got like a ridge at the back now. It's a new one I got. It's only 50 quid. It's actually better than my previous one. And I got an orthopedic pillow. I've also got a back brace. I've got all sorts of shit. So yeah, I'm signed with the back, but I still have to report to certain things. And I'm temperamental as shit. So I've been sanctioned for the past month and a half, 2 months. I was sanctioned before for about 6 months. That's because I'm temperamental. If I don't want to do something, I won't do it, regardless of consequences. So I'm a bit of a problem to myself. Is what it is, because I'm all about integrity and justice. And it's not like in that period I'm lazy. This is the thing. People think if you're signed on doing those things. No, a job's destroyed my back, and my last job just killed me. But it was a really high paying job, so it's frustrating that it did that. But if you look, I've done all my books in the process. I'm on a healing journey. There's all sorts of things going on. But again, I'm sharing the process. One day my life will be entirely different. I've got no doubt about it. In the present, it's a pain in my ass. So we've got a house that's irritating living shit out of me, even though on the outside it looks nice. On the inside for a 2-bedroom, it's decent, it's nice. But there's structural problems that irritate shit out of me that maybe won't bother most people. I don't know. To me, it's irritating me every moment. I'll pace around all day long. Just every time I can go upstairs and then I go downstairs. And as soon as I go downstairs, I'm doing the same thing again. And I'm like, this is pissing me off again. So I'm not a problem to myself. So you got the car. And then today when I was eating, I've recently had a root canal done and had a crown on in August. So we're only in October now and the crown's just come off. And I'm like, oh, bloody great. Because the dentist I see, who's free on the NHS, is all the way in my hometown, 100 miles away. To have it done here would have been about £600, I think, for the crown on the private. So I'm like, wait a minute, I've got to travel all the way 100 miles just to go and see them about that. And then if they can't seal it, they're going to have to do what do you call it? Like the template thing, and then come back and have it fitted. This is all time and consuming. Plus my car needs fixing. So I'm like, the reason I'm showing this is to show the disparity between what I've considered justice and what I consider a freaking nightmare. So literally I had the appointment to sort the money out with the job centre. They've done that. They've actually lifted the sanction from a month ago rather than now. So that's nice. That'd be helpful. So little things do work out. But yeah, my life at the moment is I'm getting quite temperamental with things because it's not fair. Like for instance, when I drove home from the job centre thing after I've had that meeting, that literally all I had to do is show my ID. That was the whole point of it. I was moaning my ass off in the car. In all honesty, me and Spirit Source, I'm just going, this is a joke, mate. I said we've got problems with the car. I said the house is doing me head in. I said money's a freaking nightmare. At that point, my tooth hadn't come out. I'm pretty sure the tooth come out. No, the tooth had come out before then. It was before that when I was eating a bloody chocolate bar. Yeah, and I said, now I've got a problem with bloody tooth again. I'm like, when does anything ever work out? You know, when is it like my time? I've worked my arse off. I worked my arse off and I don't see any results for it. Tell me where it's fair. But I do it because I love it. I do it because I feel called to do it. And I've got other books in progress, which I'm going to start doing. I've took about 2 or 3 weeks off, I think, really. I've been derailed, I think, by about 2 weeks. So I really want to get back to doing that because it's actually a passion of mine. I'm not sure which one I'll release next because there's literally about 2 or 3 manuscripts that literally are already like full of content. If I edited them down, they could get released. But I keep adding to them. So really, it's a case of I'm going to keep adding for a minute, and then there'll be a day when I look at them and go, right, which one do I want to work on? And then it'll be edit, and then it'll be released. So there's plenty of work in the progress there for me to get done. And again, it's regardless of whether I see success, it's all for the long term, you know. Again, that's how I am. I'm a very much a long term thinker. This isn't really expecting anything at any moment. In fact, if anything, it'd be a surprise when I do. But at the same time, I recognise I deserve something now. It's ridiculous. So I had a bit of an epiphany in my head after I was moaning like a son of a bitch that I was really kicking off to myself, weirdly enough, a bit mad. I had a little epiphany and I just thought, well, to be honest, the world's been so negative for so long. Things are getting brought to light. So positive people will be put into the front. So that my time is coming. I get a lot of signs that it's coming. It's just when you're struggling to the level I am, it's not, the signs don't pay your bills. You know what I mean? Like signs don't make you happy. It's like, that's just, you know, I kind of want something tangible now. Thank you. But then I thought about it and I thought, to be honest, you've got all these influencers who are just like, they don't provide anything of substance, all this. And I can see that eroding away. So my time, I think it's inevitable. My time is coming. It just hasn't happened yet. And then when you put it upon reflection, think, where is the world currently? Who did people idolize? What are people interested in? It's like, yeah, you probably don't fit in with any of that right now. So that makes sense. As frustrating as it is, it's kind of where society is. And when society's ready and we've expanded, then my content makes sense to them. So like I say, I'm not looking for sympathy in any way. I just thought I would be transparent about the current circumstances. And yeah, I mean, the reality is though, even with all those niggling things, you may look and think, well, how the hell can he be so confident when if you think about it, there's nothing positive within that. It's kind of like I'm living in most people's nightmare. The idea of rock bottom, and yet I can smile. Yeah, I can look at the bigger picture and I can actually believe in myself and it doesn't drain my confidence. But then in some ways, without me realizing, maybe that's the message I'm supposed to be delivering. Is that our value isn't attached to those things. I recognize that I'm worth far more than my current circumstance. I just haven't got it yet. Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm at. It's like I already embody the next stage. It just hasn't progressed how I anticipated just yet. So I'm more like in a holding pattern and stuck in this mire of mediocrity. But I'm far better than the circumstance. Anyway, that's why I just thought I'd share that a little bit. Again, I never seek sympathy. I don't ask for no GoFundMe shit. Do you know what I mean? I just expect at some point my life naturally transitions due to the work I've put in. But you never know how opportunities manifest and unfold, you know? Yeah, but I think when you put so much, I think where it gets really demoralizing for me is is where I've put so much work into what I do to still struggle. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. If I was a lazy individual, I don't do my video content, I don't do my books, audio books. If I don't work on things, then I would get it. Of course, you haven't put the effort in. You're like, well, how can you? It's the idea that you put the work in, you should see success. It's kind of it, isn't it? Even if you don't see success the first time, keep trying because one day you'll see it. But we're quite a few years in now and we haven't seen it. It's like, gets demoralizing. So that's really where I get a bit frustrated personally. So a video come up on my TikTok, as with all the case. There's always some beautiful videos. And this was a really nice one. Now, I've had a lot of signs. I thought I'd share it. Yeah, nice.
First message I have for you today is your inner light is shining very bright. You have this aura, this ability to work hard, this ability to help others, and it's being recognized. Champion, warrior, the chariot. You have pushed yourself and pushed yourself in order to succeed. And success is yours. And I feel like you've just gone to battle again and again. You keep getting yourself back up. And so you're starting to experience some real success here. There's some real success coming in for you here.
I'm not going to keep stopping it. When they say that, I normally laugh quite heavily to myself because I'm always like to the universe, you're having a laugh, mate. I've not seen success anywhere. I feel successful in what I do, but I haven't seen success anywhere. So when they say you're seeing it or it's coming in, it's, oh yeah, I've heard this for a long, long time.
You've been loving yourself. You've offered this cup to you. You've offered this cup to you. This is a message of love from the universe. It says, I love you. I love you. You've worked so hard. And this is a message. You're the messenger. I don't know why I'm feeling this like very beautiful inner spirit that's awakened and illuminated. And I feel like this goes back. There's like ancestry here. Like maybe you have a prominent ancestry of some kind. Or maybe you've recently discovered something about your ancestry. But you've been letting your inner light shine. And I can't make these cards up. Look at that Ace of Wands. You're on this brand new spiritual path. And you are illuminated. You are lit up like a Christmas tree. Like this is you. And you're shining. People can see it. People can feel your light. They can feel that you're blazing a new trail. They can feel that you're blazing a new path. You're spiritually lit. Like the wick of a candle, lit up. You've moved on. You've moved on. You've moved on. You really have, and you really feel like you're past the storm now. That the waters are calmer. And you look for the light. You look for the light in yourself, and you look for the light in the world. And that is changing your entire perspective. I feel like in the past, maybe you were somebody that focused on negativity or were always looking for the negative, and now you're looking for the light. And that's the key, you guys. Mindfulness is the focus. We choose what we focus on. If you think your mind is in charge and your mind is what's, and that everything happens to you that's negative, but you're focused on it, we have a choice with our minds, what we want to focus on, where we want to place our energy, and you choose the light. And that is making all of the difference. The Hierophant. Guys, I can't make this up. You are so divinely led. You might even be leading others, a teacher of some kind. And you're finding your center. You're finding your spiritual center. You're finding your spiritual truth. And this truth is just illuminating you to the world around you. You're walking with this now. You're walking with this. There's a humility to you as well. Humble, honorable. You're honoring yourself. What a beautiful reading, you guys. What a beautiful reading. You've left in the past the deceiver, the liar. You're done with the liar. God is in the truth. The devil is in the lie. Don't forget that. God is in the truth. So seek God, not the lie.
Yes, that's a really nice video. And yeah, I'm caught in that two minds sort of situation. I have no doubt of my future. I have no doubt where I'm heading. The opportunities that are coming. I know it innately, and I get signs like this anyway. But I also do my own tarot. I can do all sorts. I'm already aware. I know the opportunities are coming, and I think it's going to send me abroad. Which really, that in that sense, I think it puts me in a level of limbo in the present, and that frustrates me even more because I hate waiting for things. I hate stagnating. If that's due to happen, I just want it to happen. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's where I'm at. So even little things around the home, I want to upgrade. I want to get a new bookcase because I want to transition from. This is silly things, but this is just where I'm at. I'm at a holding pattern here. I've got a bookcase in the living room, and as well, I want to get a matching one to go next to it for DVDs, Blu-rays. I don't want to rely on digital content anymore because I don't trust the platform providers. I own movies on different services, but I'm like, wait a minute, they're holding us. If they come change the terms and conditions, they could put adverts at the beginning of your movies. They could remove the service, and then what do? I don't want to keep investing in that, so I just want to get a physical library and start getting back to what I used to like enjoying. Meanwhile, I've got like a gaming laptop which I want to sell, and I want to build a new computer because it's more powerful and it's just better for me. It's not that easy. It's just not that easy. It's going to cost more to build the computer than the laptop itself. Then you've got to find a buyer for the laptop. It's a whole process. On top of everything else, it's just like one thing after another. And you see other people have nice things, and you're kind of like thinking, I just want this nice thing for myself. But again, and I want to upgrade my whole desk. I've seen people have those Alex drawers from IKEA and get a new worktop. It'd be a really nice desk space. But again, you could do all that, and in 6 months, years, whatever, opportunity comes, changes your life. What do you do with all the stuff you just bought? So I know we should be living in the present, but my mind's always looking towards the future. So effectively, even when I'm struggling or it feels like life's lost course in a sense, I'm always focused on the future though. So the present me is frustrated, but the future me is liberated, excited, free, thriving. And it's a case of, okay, we're just going to have to work our way there then. We're just going to have to keep plugging away. And that's why I never lose hope. I get frustrated just like everybody else, but I never lose hope. I know that's my future. I know I have a wonderful future ahead of me. So I don't lose sight of that. But in the present, I get deeply frustrated, just like everybody else. Like I am really annoyed because I just think, if you look back over a year, for instance, I've had numerous computers I built. I'm a gamer, and I do my computer because of my podcast and recording and all sorts of stuff. I just want a nice setup where I can sit here in peace and I just feel tranquil. And I've sold a lot of things over the time to help me through that transition period when I left my previous job. I needed the money. In my mind, I was like, downsizing's a good thing. And I did all that, and now I regret it. I'm resentful because I've had to just keep losing and losing and losing. And then I look and think, when did you gain? When is it anything? There's been good moments sporadic in between, but for the most part, I always feel like I'm forever sacrificing. And I'm tired of sacrificing, It's like, when do I get to thrive and keep? Why must life be so hard? I've put a lot of work into what I do. My books, for instance, I push myself to the brink. And not only push myself to the brink, I share all my knowledge onto the page. I try to ooze it all out and just like help other people that I know would be struggling. And it's like, you know what? I'm gonna show you everything I think and feel. My process for this, why I think that, and hopefully it'll give people the tools and the wisdom to find the strength in their journey too. Find some clarity, focus on purpose, set boundaries with people. All these beautiful things to just uplift yourself and make yourself a powerhouse. But you do all that, and then you don't really get attention on your work. I'm not a sellout. My morals are so high that it really holds me back. I don't do clickbait titles. I don't over exaggerate anything. I don't know. I don't over promote things. It's not in my nature to do so, and I don't like it. So I refuse to be something I'm not, which makes my process, my journey, far harder. It just is what it is. But yeah, I said it's not. This isn't for sympathy. This is to document and journal. I may even pin this video to the top because I think it's important that people see the struggles you go through to strive for your success. And then maybe when we start to see tangible results, it's those periods we look back at and go, that's what made me the way I am, though. It's through that we learn resilience. If you can see the beauty in yourself in the middle of your worst chaoses, then everything in life beyond that is beautiful, isn't it? Like my daughter's not home. It upsets me a lot because for me, spending a few days here and there or a week at the most in holiday periods, for me, it's not enough. And when she leaves, it breaks my heart. And it's like, I don't like, it's like dangling in front of me a treat and then keep taking it away. And it's like, that's not what I want, though. I don't want those short periods. It's too much. It derails me. You know, I'm kind of like just waiting for the period where she gets to return home and stays. And again, I think enough time's passed where that should have happened too. So all these little things, you know. But yeah, it doesn't change what I think of myself and how I perceive the future. It just means in the present, I'm deeply irritated, which might explain some of my up and down content. Sometimes I'm quite philosophical, other times quite petulant, other times quite happy. It's just wherever the mood takes you, you know. But yeah, hopefully me sharing the lows as well as the highs will go some way to helping people at various stages of their journey.